We're not selling shoes here. You could change them anytime. This is your life. So when you come with a giving that addresses life, you have to come with something that is complete.
So I guess I'll start it off. I go by the name of the Alkaline Healer. Breon Ashton Martin, it's my name. And I'm an alkaline healer. So pretty much like how I came to this point in being like an all natural healer with herbs is kind of like just, I guess, growing old, getting older, feeling some pain, you know, and just like seeking, I guess, like natural remedies, kind of like, I guess, peeping game that the pharmaceutical industry, the doctors, the hospitals were failing everybody else that I had came witness to see pass away in my life, you know? So I was like, okay, it's got to be a natural way that creates real results. And so for me, you know, living that, it led me to finding Dr. Sebi, of course, right? Sure, that's probably everybody's first person that they ran across. And just pretty much like going on that snowball ride with Dr. Sebi, getting familiar with his family, ended up reaching out to Patsy Bowman, and me and Patsy connected. She's one of my mentors now. And you know, just with Patsy, like, she's so cool. Like, Miss Patsy, like, she has like a heart of gold, you know? Like, she really is a real true person. Like, I really love Patsy Bowman. Like, she's not into, I guess, like, she's not really into like tit for tat. A lot of people hear about, you know, the tit for tat that Dr. Sebi and his family has, you know. She's more about healing rather than talking about, you know, oh, this family member isn't this, or they compromise that. Like, she's not really into that. She's more about, okay, you call me because you're interested in healing. Okay, here are some nuggets, here are some jewels about healing, you know? So it's like, I really do appreciate that about Patsy, you know? So as far as, okay, when I started to get like dead on serious with my path was at the start of COVID, personally. Just kind of like recognizing like, okay, this is a worldwide pandemic that's going on. It's got to be like global genocide that's about to take place. Let me get serious on the art of healing. And that's when I started like investing into books, different herbs, and just like investing my time into like studying, you know, the art of healing, like I said. So pretty much my goal from here on out is to build this Community 83. So Community 83 being Dr. Sebi passing away at 83 years old. He had a long list of things that he wanted to do, wanted to accomplish, you know, goals and such, that he wasn't able to accomplish before he passed away. So pretty much, like homies say, you know, fam say the healing continues, you know, so it's really true. And that's what I want to make Community 83 about, is like the continuation of Dr. Sebi's legacy, just alkaline healing. You know, obviously we all believe in the benefits of alkaline healing. So I also want to start an alkaline restaurant, all alkaline ingredients, of course, and make it kind of like interactive to where somebody can come in and be like, you know what, I'm dealing with diabetes. So me automatically knowing, okay, when it comes to diabetes, this person is their pancreas is compromised. So, you know, I want to put some nopal seasoning into their food, or, you know, some hireke or something like that, something that I know can heal their pancreas and their endocrine system. So, you know, just like I said, like an interactive type of alkaline restaurant, and a whole bunch of other things. But yeah, that's me, the Alkaline Healer.
I am Monet, aka Mindful Mo, and I am Alkaline Lifestyle Coach. So my journey began when I became conscious, when I started to eat consciously. So, I started with Dr. Sebi, and then I started to integrate alkaline foods into my existing lifestyle. So I was eating meat, I was eating everything besides pork. This is about 5 to 6 years ago now, actually. And I started to integrate alkaline foods into my daily meals. And I began to notice that my body was like feeling, you know, different and just alive. And I just felt like slowly but surely I was able to get a focus that I feel like sometimes you can, when you're an ambitious individual, sometimes life can stagnate you mentally. And a lot of times it's because of the foods that we eat. And through my journey, I've learned that, you know, there was just so many things that I wanted to do. So many dreams I had, and I knew I could do it, but something was holding me back. And for me, it was the foods that I was eating. It was the fried fish, it was the grits, it was the eggs, you know, it was the dairy, it was everything that was, you know, making me feel heavy. Literally, my mind, body was heavy. So, you know, I'm like a sponge when it comes to knowledge. So once I started to really understand how food affects the way you show up in the world, I started to teach my family what I was coming to understand. You know, I started to study more of Dr. Sebi. I started to study going to like just herbology and just really look at nature. I love nature. I love to travel. So, you know, it got to a point where I didn't want to work for anyone anymore. So I was like, what is my gifts now? What do I have to give to the world now? Because everything I do, the first thing I do, I always give back the first time. So I started to think about it. I'm like, what am I doing now to help people? And it was helping my family and friends transition into living an alkaline lifestyle, no matter where they were. So if they was eating pork, meat, fish, whatever, I would help them to start to do, you know, transition. So I've turned that into, you know, a path in my, you know, it's a jewel in my path, and I'm, you know, taking that and, you know, trying to help as many people as I can. So I'm happy to be here.
That's beautiful. Definitely.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Juan.
So, all right. So basically, man, I just, man, it was crazy. Like my path had came before, I even knew about Dr. Sebi or, any of this, like the plant life, the alkaline life. It started probably when I say like about 12, 13. It was like, several nights it was like, I was developing this pain and stuff. And I couldn't sleep. So I'd be up all night. And it was so crazy and so weird to where I thought it was a mental thing. You know, I thought it was something that, because I couldn't describe it. I thought it was something that it just was like a mental thing. It was weird, you know what I'm saying? But it had me balled up to where I'd be like clutching with my stomach and everything. And so I was like, damn, you know, my mom, she was like a hard type of person, you know what I'm saying? She like, suck it up, you know what I'm saying? You'll be all right and everything like that. And so I just didn't even say nothing to her about it because I knew that's what she was gonna say, you know, because my mom was always a tough woman, you know, she didn't play no games, you know, she raised me on her own, should I say, me and my brother. Got one brother, by the way. And by the way, my name is Juan. So back to this story. With that being said, one night my mom had us staying up late and we was watching a movie or something, and then I just started balling up again. I couldn't help it. I was like, dang, I'm like having no choice to do this in front of her. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, you know? So she ended up taking me to the hospital or whatever. And they did an endoscopy. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but that's when they stick the camera down your throat, you know, put you to sleep or whatever have you, all that stuff. And they found that I had ulcers. So, and also they diagnosed me with H. pylori, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but that's a bacteria that can lead to stomach cancer. It's the first signs of it. And so from there, they was like, yeah, if you waited a little bit longer, you probably could have been, dead. You know what I'm saying? You could have been sick or whatever. And so I was like, dang. So from there, at the age of 13, they was like, they gave it a straight diet, just straight vegetables. They was like, this is all you can eat. You can't eat nothing else. And it was like horrendous on me because I, for the life of me, did not know how to change that. You know what I'm saying? I was just so addicted to the other foods and stuff. And the family was on me like, because they told him like, if he don't change, he ain't gonna live long, So it was so hard. But then I was doing it, eating the salads and the vegetables because my family was forcing me to. But and I started feeling better a year later, within a year's time. And then after that, just completely went back to that old lifestyle again because I didn't feel that problem anymore. I was like, I'm fine. So my path started there because reason why I say that is because I already knew that that's the way you had to eat to feel better at that point in time, which I wasn't even, I didn't practice it. So then through my journey, I started developing kidney stones, and I also developed interstitial cystitis, which is the lining of the bladder. There's a protective coating inside the bladder from like uric acid or, from the acid, waste or whatever that's accumulating that the kidneys, separates, from all of the good stuff. So it actually ate up the protective coating in my bladder. So anything that I would eat or drink, if I could take like a sip of wine, a sip of alcohol, or anything that's acidic, and next thing you know, I'm burning like to my urinal, to my bladder, like literally, like I thought I had an STD or something. It was so bad, you know what I'm saying? Like I was crying, like I didn't want to go pee, you know what I'm saying? So from there, I was like, damn, like what the hell is going on? This is before I even knew about Dr. Sebi. So I went to this doctor, a urologist. He was like, man, you got interstitial cystitis. I'm like, what the hell is that, And he was like, yeah, that's when the lining of the protective coating lining of your bladder is compromised. It's completely gone. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. So he was like, you got to stop eating acidic foods. And this was a Caucasian doctor telling me this. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me a list of foods and stuff. And I was looking at like, what the heck? It took off dairy, took off wine, took off coffee, all that. And these are the things that I was partaking in. I was waking up to coffee. I was addicted to it. I'll have a little wine here, probably, drinking the beers or whatever have you and stuff. So I just completely shut all of that off. And the list, I was looking at the list and studying it more and more. Then I just I was like looking into, non-acidic foods. And that's how I bumped into Dr. Sebi. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even find Sebi first. It was actually the doctors that told me this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I believe that not all doctors are bad. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them have a bad initiative. So from there, I started, practicing the alkaline lifestyle and just eating more and more and more alkaline. And I realized, like all of these elements and things that I was dealing with just disappeared, went away, didn't have to go to the doctors anymore. So I started just mastering that. And I'm also like mastering, the how to fast. So I did a fast for 16 days with no food, absolutely no food, like none, just straight water and some sea moss. That's it. And man, from that 7th day, it was like, I feel like I definitely bumped into God for sure. Because when I woke up, it was like the sun was gleaming in my eyes, like so uncontrollably bright. And I'm in a room, I'm not even outside. I'm like, how is this possible? You know what I'm saying? And it felt like my body was levitating on the bed, where I feel like I was just floating. So I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like the 7th day, why? What's up with this number 7? This 7 is interesting, So when I stood up and I started walking around, I feel so light, like I feel like I was walking on air or something, like I could just jump up, like just on top of houses or something. It was the strangest thing, but it was the most addictive thing. I was like, wow. but not eating and feel like this, and feel like you just in tune and you one with God, you know what I'm saying? It just really caught my interest. And I ain't gonna lie, I only did that fast for 16 days 2 years ago. And I haven't gotten back to that. I'm trying to get back to it now because I want to do a longer 30 to 40 day period. But it was just intriguing to me, and I fell in love with it because of the fact that plants are alive, even when you pluck them from the ground and stuff like that, and the energy and stuff is still alive when you put it in your body and everything. So that's kind of like my journey is just, you know, I want to definitely practice and study the plants more. I want to learn all of the natural God nature chemicals that's in these herbs, and I want to study them, you know, bit by bit, and just get deep into it on a microscopic type of thing. And also for my kids, I'm gonna try to be too long, but my kids, I don't want them to have to suffer from the same elements that I suffer from. So I'm trying to learn how to give them a cleanse that will do the job, but not, you know, be as harsh as the cleanse that we would take. You know what I'm saying? So they don't go through the same things, you know, whether it's a genetic thing or whether it's just the same way that we eating, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want them to go through that. And it's been a task, y'all. Like it's so hard for me to focus on my business and doing me and focusing on myself by trying to make sure that they're eating right. You know what I'm saying? And healing and them understanding and knowing what's going on, you know, like, okay, this is dead food, this is live food. You only want to stick to this side, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's been my journey. I'm like all over the place, y'all, but I'm trying to prioritize and organize my situation so I can be, you know, in tune. But I know it's definitely my journey and stuff. So that's basically what, you know, what I'm on right now. Just studying that, and I want to master the art of fasting, so that way people can come to me and say, okay, well, why do I feel like this day? Why do I feel like this that day? You know, like some people tell me they fasted, and I'll be like, well, okay, you fasted. Okay, did your tongue break out the third or fourth day? Did you have the blisters on your tongue? No. Well, then you didn't fast then. You didn't fast properly, because if you fast and you do a real fast, no foods and nothing, your tongue, the third, fourth, or fifth day is going to break out into blisters, and it's going to be very painful. That's because I'm thinking the colon is doing some kind of reversal effect or something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to learn that part. But I was like, when I seen it, I was tripping, like, oh my God, I'm about to die. Like, what is this? You know, why is my tongue breaking out into blisters like this? And I looked it up, and it was like 7-day process of a fast, and it showed how your tongue would break out into these blisters. It was very sore and painful, but the next day I woke up, it was completely gone, and my tongue looked like a brand new tongue. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that, you know, my journey on that. I'm still learning. I'm a learning progress, and I'm open, and I'm definitely steering far away from hybrid herbs. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to even deal with it. You know, I don't even want to have nothing to do with it, period. That's what I'm on. So, you know, that's my journey. And I'm, you know, I met my brother, you know what I'm saying, the Alkaline Healer. I met him like, it was about what, a little over 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, we've been going on about a decade.
Yeah, over a decade. We was rappers then, y'all. We weren't even into the herbs, you know what I'm saying? We went from that rapper, thug lifestyle, and all that crazy stuff that we was consuming, all that toxicity, to healers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of us. Like, I'm proud of our
It's a beautiful journey.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey. We grew for sure. So that's it. No, that's
what's the name of your company, King?
Oh, it's Carbon Body Cell Food is the name of my company. Carbon Body Cell Food. So we basically we want to stress to the people that we are carbon based. We are not melanin based. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing right here in our community is crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? We melanin, we black, we African. Like, please stop it. We are made of a minerals, we minerals dense, and the main component is carbon. And that's everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just some have it more so than others. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, is waking up our people and letting them know how significant their body is, you know, how rich the organs and the blood is and everything, and how it's only supposed to consume rich things. That's not really expensive like that. You know what I'm saying? We just think it is, you know? So that's it. That's my journey right there. I appreciate that. Thanks for, you know, asking me the name of my business. I almost forgot that one. Yeah.
No doubt.
I really appreciate hearing everyone's story thus far. I am a life path number 5. I am a Libra. I love everything about community. I love everything about connection. I love everything about like sharing stories and experiences. So I love hearing about everyone else. I have made it a point in my personal life to always make myself available. So I personally take a lot of what others share and just take that really deeply with me into my day. So just like a lot of gratitude for that. A lot of people don't, well, I guess me in my situation, my relatives don't live in the same city. And so I spend a lot of time alone. And so connection is just really important to me. And I really love being able to hold space and share space with everyone. So there's that. I am Persophonie X, wellness practitioner and food and feelings coach. The name of my company and brand is The Healing Continues. And so I'm 24. I am in my last year of school studying sociology with minors in sports management and nutrition. I've been studying for over a decade, transitional eating. And so I've been plant-based for 7 years. I have worked with clientele one-on-one, short-term and long-term. I'd say a little over 3 years now. So I'm new to establishing my business online. I'm not new to the study. I'm not new to the practice. So I have spent my last 5 years in school conducting critical research around the evolution of healing, evolution of nutrition science, the connection between food, race, and ethnicity amongst indigenous communities. And so I have cultivated 2 healing programs, one 6-week, another 3 months, and then I'm working on a 6-month program right now. However, I guess how my business started online is that I wrote a book called The 7 Stages of Her Reincarnation, where I talk about how I healed the 7 chakras, or the 7 main energy points, through transitioning eating lifestyles throughout my life. So I personally have a history of, you know, chronic depression, chronic headaches, abnormal uterine bleeding. So a really extensive history with birth control and things of that nature. And so I teach and help Indigenous Black and Brown men and women heal chronic disease through aligning their healing goals with their eating goals. So I've worked with clientele on, you know, serving them through, you know, hair loss journeys, alopecia, chronic depression, you know, mental and emotional instability, inclusive to anxiety and depression, any issues around womb health, womb care, things like that. And so I'm having a really good time establishing myself online. It's very different. The 12 clients that I've worked with one-on-one the past 3 years have all been like personal referrals to me. So I'm very used to working like in person, having all of that connection. So online, it's obviously different. It's new to me, but I'm having fun. Like, it's fun to establish yourself online and build a business online. Outside of that, and similarly connected, I started a healthy snack vending machine business the beginning of the year. And so that is kind of like the second aspect that not everyone is familiar with about. So that company is called Do For Self Vending Services. I am with the Nation of Islam. And so that is a concept from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to do for self or suffer the consequences. And so there's like a quote that goes around, I feel like every year, about having multiple streams of income, having, you know, wealthy people have 7 streams of income, yada, yada, yada. I think that quote was taken out of context. I think that all streams of your income should come from what you're passionate about. 1, 2, wellness is obviously what the industry that we're in is. And so I wanted to make sure that my second business and my second streams of income were coming from wellness oriented businesses.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. That's perfect. I just wanted to add real quick that healthy snack vending machine is the shit for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you should try to push to getting that into correctional facilities, because correctional facilities are suffering. Those inmates in there are a lot of our brothers, sisters, family members, and they are suffering. They do not get any healthy choices to eat, drink, whatsoever. It like the only type of sweetener that they have in there is what, sweet and low, something like that. It's crazy, but that would definitely that's needed.
Yeah, I placed my fifth machine, and it will be my first in a correctional facility in December, the end of December. So exactly what you just said is perfect alignment.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Yeah. So, all right, Kamau.
Yeah. How you guys doing? How is everybody doing?
What's up?
Hey, nice to meet you guys,
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for the energies. I'm loving the energies. Very refreshing. To speak with people who are on the same vibrations. By the name, I'm Kamau Ra, originally from Kenya, Africa. Had my journey personally started again, like I think way a long time ago. Like Juan said there. When I was young, about the same age, as a matter of fact, as Juan, about 13 years old, I had different health issues. I had tuberculosis, I had pneumonia, I had lung failure one time. I had these sores that used to come out of my body. I mean, I was sickly, and, it was very confusing. And as a matter of fact, when I had the tuberculosis, they injected me for about 90 times. Like every day I had to go to the hospital to get an injection. Right? So that was an awful experience, that really made me hate hospitals, so being sick. And so, here I am, I'm sickly, I don't understand what's going on. Again, I'm eating all these foods that, we grew up knowing, or the food that were introduced to us. And I'm now understanding, what's happening. Why am I sick? Why me? And, I'm upset, so they're messing with my psychology. So also mentally now it's affecting me. Nobody's giving me any answers. I'm looking around, nobody have any answers. So, I'm tripping. And, so I kind of started off, I guess, the wrong way. Then not long after that, as a matter of fact, it was before that, and I think that's where it started. My mom passed away when I was maybe 11 or 12 from cervical cancer, right? And right after that, that's when I got diagnosed with all these diseases. So, it's a stressful time. Here, I never knew my dad, by the way, so I didn't know who my dad was. My mom is gone, right? So I'm living with my brother, and I'm sick. Like I don't know what's going on. So I'm in a state where, I'm done. Like, it's a very dark place, but all in all, went to the hospitals with all the injections and everything, still confused, not understanding. A lot of things wasn't making sense, At first I'm born, I don't know my father. Here it is again at teens, my mom is gone. Around that, I'm sick as hell. So, excuse me, I'm sick and I'm confused. So I got mental issues, physical issues, and I started getting all type of things, smoking cigarettes, just to ease the stress, getting in things that I had no business getting into, and steady consuming these things, got into alcohol and things of that nature, drugs a little bit. Fast forward, my late teens. And then my body really started telling me, yo, if you don't do something here, we're going to recycle for real. You come out of there one time, when I was young, because I fought. I mean, what I did, I just went in my own zone and just kind of excluded myself from everybody and everything. I just isolated myself. I went into isolation, mainly just being by myself, smoke a lot of cannabis. That's okay. Cannabis, I ain't gonna lie. Cannabis really helped me along the way. It kept me company, like literally, like that was my best friend. But anyway, fast forward again, teens, now I'm getting into alcohol because I'm getting older, I'm hanging around people, so we're going out, I'm still messed up mentally, it's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. I'm looking around and I don't see anything that's helping me. So, getting into alcohol and, went there out, which, I got in a lot of trouble. A lot of drugs, steady my body was really telling me, hey, this is it. If you don't do something here, you at the end of the road for real. So, I started looking. And again, there was nothing available. But when I really started digging and looking, along the process, I met a beautiful queen, who, at that point, I was trying to be vegetarian, looking around, seeing, these foods can cause you harm, this are letting it fall. And so I'm trying vegetarian. I'm trying different healthy things. I'm hitting the gym, but, things are not changing. I'm still sickly. I stopped. No, when I met the queen, actually, I met the queen and that's when I stopped smoking cigarettes. My queen, the one I'm with right now, she helped me stop smoking cigarettes. So I removed that out of the way. Then she introduced me to Dr. Sebi. She like, yo, this guy here, check him out. And from the first time, like I was telling the Alkaline Healer there the other day, from the minute that I heard the first video of Sebi, this maybe 10 years ago, I introduced to Dr. Sebi, like I was saying, the first time I really, checked him out, listened to the first video, like, man, I ain't never had nobody say that. I'm like, wait a minute, let me listen some more. So I started listening, and here it is, this dude, man, he breaking it down so simple. Because at that point, it was very frustrating, even trying to do research, and the information is full of so much scientific juggling that, it's just like, man, this is too much. It's frustrating, and it still doesn't make sense. And there's still nothing to show for, like, this is for sure the way. Because I'm looking like, man, all doctors do is experiment and use chemicals. And I was like, I don't know, that doesn't feel right. But here it is, this guy. He make it seem so simple. So that really interested me, and I kept on listening. I went for like 3 months straight, just listening to any video I could find online. I looked up books. He didn't have any books, but I bought the one with the 7 Village in Usha Village, 7 Days in Usha Village. I started reaching out to him, reached out to them, connected with Mr. G. At that time, that's when you just connected with Mr. G, and they were doing the tours. They were shooting the videos. They was in Atlanta at that time. And we were working on getting him, a place, where he could get situated and things like that. They ended up getting the Georgia Dome. I didn't go that time, though. I ended up not going. So, but I kept on following him and, just kept learning from him and started applying, right? Just started taking the foods, and I bought the first package that I got from him, the small chelation compound, the small cleansing package, and took that, me and my queen, man, and we went through the first cleansing. We did 28 days fasting, right? Me, when I see something I like, I go hard. There's no reservations whatsoever. If I believe in it, we going all the way. So I did that, went the cleansing, man, and I see changes that what Juan was talking about. That was it. I experienced the same exact thing. I was so high that I was like, man, I thought cannabis made me feel good, but this right here, it's like, man, this is it, right? So I was like, wait a minute, man, that's a great feeling, right? And it's a feeling that is almost impossible to explain till you go through it yourself, right? One try to explain that you're so light, you feel that you're walking on cloud 9 or cloud 7, like one say, right? So it's like a different experience, and you start healing. You can feel your body actually just draining these toxins, like Juan talked about, bursting out with all these sores all around. They can come out your head, they come out different places, right? Because the toxins are leaving the body, right? And again, most of these toxins are in the body because of all the clogged up, fat and whatever you got in there that don't belong in there. It's all the trash and all the toxin, and they're eating out of this stuff. So that's what really becomes the symptoms that we call diseases. So when you give your body to kind of drain that out, it have to come out. All the, exhaling places that the body can find will push all these toxins out. Then, some people even say eat itself. Fasting is one of those, fastest way to heal the body. I mean, literally the body kind of recycles itself. Remember, the body is capable of running on different systems to a point like you can run without food, but you have to transition onto their system to get it running like that. So if you're running on mass right now, a lot of mass food, that's a dense, area you're in, a dense stage you're in. So the first time that you fast, or you kind of change from that stage to the next stage, which is a lighter stage, all that kind of leaves you, all that mass, all those toxins leave you. But again, we did that, we experienced that, and we were like, wow, this is great. So me personally, I started looking at, okay, I want to know what's in these compounds and whatever he's talking about, the herbs. Back home, again, I was familiar with some of those herbs, or when I was a little boy, I knew about herbs and how they healed people of all type of things, but that story is quite long to really understand the disconnection, what became of the chemical medication today, and how the herbs will kind of derail into people thinking they're useless or they don't have any value. And in essence, they were highly researched, especially in the 1800s. There was a lot of work done, especially in the tropics, to kind of make these herbs into the medication we have today. And the reason being is you could not patent the tree or trademark the trees to create a company. So you had to come up with an herb or something that you can patent and make it yours. So in doing so, you did that, and you demonetized the herbs and the plant, because obviously that's God's work. And you have no business trying to patent that. You can't even do that. So they created that, and now we have to kind of put this source in this place that nobody gonna want to look at that. So they talked about it being witchcraft and whatever they called it, and they got their formulas from that. But again, fast forward, when I was looking into herbs, I found all this out. Or, I'm looking at different places. I'm like, wow, this is so much deep and so much simple at the same time. And again, with the Sebi ideology of bio-mineral balance, it just comes down to that, to a point that you understand what you're made of. And you can go back all the way to zero and start again. And start, removing some of the foods that could be causing harm. And once you do that, you can literally see it happening. Me personally did that, did with family members. The community kept growing it to a point with the herbs, putting together compounds, and it kept working. And up to now, I'm still working with the community, more so a lot of people are suffering. Then I realized that now. So I really got involved when I saw how many people are suffering and diseases that they can't even kind of identify. So got deep in it, and today I got a couple organizations that I lead. One here called Upendo Foods and Herbs, UPENDO, Foods and Herbs. Is at the end you can have .com or .net or at gmail.com, to reach me up. UPENDO, Foods and Herbs, .com, .net or at gmail.com. Help the community to kind of help themselves in a way that they can live a pain-free life. And that's what it's all about. We all came down the same pipeline, and we all going through the same issue. And we realize that health is our number one priority. And without it, as a matter of fact, there's nothing else left. You can do everything else that we did in the streets. We realize there's no value to it. And that's why we are here now, because this is it. We see at the end of it, we go all the way around and come right back to this point right here. And that's the reason we're here, man. And this is something very exciting. I'm excited to just understand this, experience, have some of this information and just go out and put it into, into motion, put it into, the experience I have, put it into use, where it can be beneficial to somebody else, because I've seen it work, and I've seen it work in a whole lot of people, So yeah, it's some very exciting times. At the same time, some very troubling times, because the place where we are today is a pivotal point. Things can go in a very different direction, and it's upon us to make that decision which direction we want them to go. So yeah, I'm excited, guys, and thank you again for joining me and inviting me and having this conversation, because it's needed in our communities. Thank you.
Most definitely, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for the introductory.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Definitely.
Definitely. So like what I'm looking forward to doing is just like pretty much continuing on to like other content, maybe having some of the viewers even drop some comments as to what, you know, any kind of Q&A, you know, questions that they want answered, you know, such as what's good for iron, you know, what kind of herbs are good for iron, what do I do if I have a calcium deficiency whatsoever, whatever your question may be, you know. And yeah, I would like for us to pretty much come up with some content that can give advice, give value to people that need it, because that's what we are. We are humanitarians at its finest. Definitely. Hey, I appreciate you all. Community 83, man. Let's go. The healing continues.
Yes, thanks for having me.